together what to do in the event of an extreme solar event. And a lot of people don't know where to go find this information because it's really not that popular out there. Excuse me. But if you go on Google and you were to type in what to do before, during, and after a solar storm, so the National Weather Service would come up, and you would just click on it right here. And there's a website. This little website right here, it tells you what to do during a solar event. This is from the National Weather Service. And then when you get here, it tells you, it's very short, it's not very long, and it tells you how to prepare yourself, during the solar event. And this is just a description of the different scales of an event, and which is like how much the level of radiation, expected radio blackouts, and then the level of the storm itself. And it goes, you could read this on your own, it goes from the highest to the minor to the extreme. But that's not really the purpose of my video. The purpose of this video is to help people find get access to this information in a very simple way. And once you get here, you could see right here before the solar storm right there, and it gives you ideas. It takes time to prepare. This is not just a hurricane, we're talking about a solar event. Don't wait until the morning. The reason I've decided to do this is because this is a very simple kit. A lot of us use bottled water, and if you don't, I don't know, for when excuse me, but I highly recommend, instead of throwing them in the trash or recycling them, the large ones, the gallons, and fill them up with water, tap water, and just put them aside, stack them up in a corner somewhere in the house. But that's going to be very, very useful if you could stack up on water, have enough water outside of it, not just tap water or filtered tap water, but instead of trashing these bottles, fill them up with water. And then that would be very good. If you can afford the larger bottles, that's great. And also your flashlight, that's extremely going to be important because we don't know for how long the power grids will be out. So these things are really good. So I have a plan when this happens. I mean, we could sit around and say this is not going to happen, but folks, it is going to happen. It is supposed to happen. Those who are in the know-how, they know it's going to happen. We have to prepare ourselves for this. So you could go back into reading this for yourself. I'm not going to read it all for you, but this is just to give you an idea where to go get information on the solar event. We're talking about an extreme solar event, what to do before that happens, before the solar event. And then during the solar event, it tells you what to do as well. Right here, there's a link. I mean, a lot of people are focusing on the beautiful heavenly light that the solar flash brings us down here, which it does. But the purpose of this video is to tell you what to do during a solar event. Because, we're going to be out of electricity. We might be out of electricity for days and even years to come. We don't know. So be prepared for that. Follow avoiding elevators. And just go over this list on your own. You don't need me to read it for you, so I'm sure you could do this on your own. This is just to give you an idea to getting prepared. And after the solar event, right here, right there, I clicked on this one right here. It tells you because a lot of power grids will be out. It's a very possibility. I mean, it's a fact. We will be out of electricity for a while. And if if you just follow that understanding, preparing your mind that this will happen. So instead of me just giving you my point of view, I'm just sharing these different sites with you so that you can keep up in an emergency and just starting to do your own homework right now. So this is basically on the National Weather Service. And so you go on weather.gov, and then if you type in after an extreme space weather event, this will come up. So this is very simple, easy to follow. And here it tells you on the first page, the space weather, it tells you what to expect, what will be impacted. I did a video on that, but it was just me talking. People probably don't believe me. I researched that information before I bring it over to you. So this is, right there in front of you from NASA. Expect your GPS will be impacted, satellites will be impacted, communications will be impacted, aviation, airlines, electrical power, human space exploration. All of these things will be impacted by the solar flash. And we, as humanity, will be heavily impacted down on the ground by electrical power and water plant system. So this is, see, our water and water wastewater distribution system will be heavily impacted. So perishable foods and medication are going to be off the shelf in a second. heating and air conditioning, electrical lighting system, computer system, telephone system, communication system, all of these things, airline flights, satellite networks and GPS, public transportation, fuel distribution, all electrical system that that does not have a backup power. Remember, we are not speaking just out of the air. This happened before, except that it was the Carrington event, which happened in 1859. But during that storm, their system of communication was completely off. That's because they didn't have much technology as we have today. But if we were to suffer the storm that they got hit with back in 1859, the Carrington event, we we can even start, we will suffer heavily. But the best way to prepare ourselves, in addition, is doing this little homework by going to this website, the National Weather Service, and it's under weather.gov. And then you go under space weather and safety, and this will come up. If you have a hard time, you can reach out to me, and this tells you watches and warning, you know, gives you a clear warning to watch and the alert. And then it gives you the before, which I did already. That's a bird. The during, and then this is the solar storm. Is not just about the borealis. There's a lot more to it than the borealis. And then it tells you, which are, like, I call them heavenly light. They are just beautiful, but it's not just about that. Power grids. Our power grid is under question. Elevators and evacuation plans. Medications. Emergency alert system. And all these things will be impacted. So we really have to, like, be on our top, doing our homework. And after, look at this, folks. This is for real. So I'm not making this up. And you can go in deeper for yourself. Again, the website I'm using is weather.gov. And it's under after an extreme space weather event. And if you don't remember any of this, you can just go on Google and type what to do before, during, and after a solar storm. All right? Thank you. I love you. Much love. Thanks. Bye.